Hello everyone and welcome to our music and art special. So today we're going to be talking about Impressionism. I'm going to be talking a bit about the music and Miss Stora
Hello everyone.
is going to show you how to paint like an Impressionist in just a minute. So what is Impressionism? The short answer is that it's about capturing a moment or a mood and conveying that. It started about 150 years ago in the 1870s in Paris, when a group of artists completely changed the way that paintings were made, and then their ideas had an impact on music and literature as well. Let's take a closer look.
These artists were working in the 1870s and 1880s, and Claude Monet was one of the most famous. An impression is something that doesn't last. For instance, light changing, water moving. These give an impression. He was deeply interested in colour, light, and capturing the impression, the moment. Monet's garden was beautiful, with the changing colours of plants and flowers throughout the year. In Monet's garden was a beautiful pond, and in the pond were water lilies. Claude Monet decided that these would be a brilliant subject for his painting. Oil paints at the time had become available in tubes, and it made it much easier for artists to paint outdoors. This was something that was not done until this time. He painted in different weather conditions and at different times of the day. This beautiful blue painting looks like he painted during the evening.
Isn't it amazing that artists had never painted outside before? Up until that point, paintings had had to be really detailed and accurate, but the idea of an artist working really quickly to capture a mood or a colour happened in music as well. Composers moved away from using detail and structure and tried to convey moods and colours and emotions instead. So as an artist would concentrate on the light, a composer would use silence and space to show the same thing. A composer would also mix together different chords and scales to create new colours and sounds that hadn't been done before. The most famous Impressionist composer is Claude Debussy, who was also from Paris. He really hated the term Impressionism and did everything he could to avoid it. Let me give you an example of one of his pieces. So the piece I'm going to play you is called, in English, The Girl with the Flaxen Hair, and it gives some good examples of some Impressionist writing. It's based on a poem from Scotland about a girl with golden hair, and it's quite dreamy, so Debussy tries to get this idea of dreams and Scotland into the music, and I'll show you how he does that. There's the main theme, which you can listen out for, which has got lots of space in it. It's very quiet and very delicate and is quite dreamy. So this is what the main theme sounds like. And then because the poem's from Scotland, Debussy gives a hint of Scottish music, not any direct detail, but because it's Impressionism, he just gives a flavour of the music. So this is a little bit of Scottish-like folk music, which you can listen out for. And then also to give the music a flavour of being from a faraway land, Debussy uses a lot of pentatonic scales, which some of you in secondary will know about. So have a listen to this bit. So, like an Impressionist artist would mix different colours together, Debussy mixed different chords together to create some very new sounds. So have a listen to this bit, which has got a different chord in the right hand and the left hand. So that gives some very interesting colours. Anyway, this is The Girl with the Flaxen Hair.
Hello everyone, Miss Storer here. Hopefully this will give you an insight as to how the Impressionists did their technique. So please watch and then I'll give you some tips on what you can do. Firstly, you need a piece of plain paper. Next, draw out an image. For this, I'm working from a photograph. Sketch out your picture. Here, I'm giving myself the rough outline of the rhododendron bush. I'm putting a few lines in for the foreground, a horizon line, and then in my picture I also have some trees. There they are. These are tall silver birch trees. So we're looking for a rough outline of what we first expect our picture to look like. So firstly, I'm going to do what is called a wash. This is where I'm going to apply watered down colour. At this stage, I've added the greens, the yellows and the blues, and then we're going to add colour on top in daubs. So the technique that we use is a daubing motion where we press down with the end of the brush and we leave spaces around. Then we can work in with a darker or a lighter tone, and this will give the impression of a flower. At this stage, I'm adding the purple of the rhododendron over the top. And here is my final work of the rhododendrons, painted in an Impressionist style.
So I hope you enjoyed all that and learnt something about Impressionism. Send in any pictures that you've made, it would be great to see them, and see you all soon.
Bye. Bye.